The US dollar just hit 94 rupees, an all-time high. That means your $500,000 savings is now 4.7 crore rupees, more rupees than ever before. But here is the question nobody is asking. Is 4.7 crore actually enough to retire in India? The answer might surprise you. In this video, we are going to break down the real retirement math for NRIs. Not the generic Indian retirement advice, but specifically for people who build their corpus in dollars, have a 401k, and are planning to return to India. By the end, you will know exactly how much you need and what most people get dangerously wrong. Before we talk about the number, let us talk about where NRI wealth actually comes from. Most NRIs returning from the US have three buckets: their 401k retirement account, home equity if they own a US property, and liquid savings. Each bucket has different tax treatment, different liquidity, and different implications when you move to India. A typical NRI household returning after 15 to 20 years in the US might have $200,000 to $600,000 in their 401k, $100,000 to $400,000 in home equity after selling their US property, and $50,000 to $200,000 in liquid savings. Combined, that is a significant corpus. But each bucket behaves very differently once you move to India. Here is something most NRIs are not paying attention to right now. The US dollar is at an all-time high against the Indian rupee, 94 rupees to the dollar, as of early 2026. That means your dollars are converting to more rupees than at any point in history. This is actually a remarkable moment for NRIs thinking about returning. At 94 rupees to the dollar, $500,000 converts to 4.7 crore rupees. $1 million is 9.4 crore. Using the 4% safe withdrawal rule, which says you can withdraw 4% of your corpus annually without running out of money over 30 years. $500,000 gives you roughly 1,57,000 rupees per month to live on. But here is the catch with the 401k. That money is pre-tax. When you withdraw from a traditional 401k, you owe US income tax on every rupee. Depending on how much you withdraw in a single year, you could be in the 22, 24, or even 32% federal bracket. That meaningfully reduces how much actually lands in your account. When it comes to your 401k in India, you have four main strategies. You can leave it in the US and withdraw gradually. You can convert to a Roth IRA before leaving, paying tax now, but getting tax-free withdrawals forever. You can withdraw during your RNOR period, the first 2 to 3 years in India, when India cannot tax your foreign income. Or you can always file under the Double Tax Avoidance Agreement, Article 20, to prevent double taxation. The smartest NRIs combine all four. RNOR, resident but not ordinarily resident, is the single biggest tax advantage returning NRIs have. For the first 2 to 3 years after returning, your foreign income, including 401k withdrawals, is completely exempt from Indian income tax. You only pay US tax. This window is your best opportunity to restructure your retirement accounts before India can touch them. Now, let us get to the real question. Is 5 crore rupees enough to retire comfortably in India as an NRI? The honest answer is, it depends. Specifically, it depends on three things: which city you live in, what inflation does to your spending over time, and whether you have any additional income like Social Security or rental income. Here is the city breakdown for a comfortable retired NRI couple. Mumbai, costs around 2 lakh rupees a month. At that rate, 5 crore lasts 21 years. Bangalore at 1 lakh, 50,000 gives you 28 years. Hyderabad at 1 lakh, 20,000 stretches to 35 years. Pune at 1 lakh gives you 42 years. And Kochi at 80,000 rupees per month. 5 crore lasts 52 years. City choice is the single biggest lever you have. But here is the problem with every number I just gave you. I assumed flat spending. In reality, India has historically run 6 to 7% annual inflation. That means whatever you spend today will cost double in about 10 to 12 years. A couple spending 1 lakh rupees a month today will need 2 lakh a month by 2037 just to maintain the same lifestyle. This table shows the brutal reality of Indian inflation on a 5 crore corpus. Starting with 1 lakh per month spending in 2026, by 2036, you need 1,79,000 just to live the same life. By 2041, your 5 crore corpus is nearly exhausted, just 15 years into retirement. This is why the 5 crore number is not the safe number most people think it is. There is one expense category that inflation numbers do not fully capture: healthcare. Indian medical inflation is running at around 14% per year, more than double general inflation. For NRIs who spent decades in the US, the assumption that India healthcare is cheap is increasingly outdated. A serious illness, surgery, or long-term care can wipe out a significant portion of your corpus very quickly without adequate health insurance. Here is the good news. NRIs actually have significant advantages that pure rupee-based retirees do not. If you worked in the US for 10 years or more, you may qualify for US Social Security payments even after returning to India. Your 401k continues to grow tax-deferred in the US. And the dollar-rupee dynamic historically favors you over time as the rupee slowly depreciates. If you worked in the US for at least 10 years and paid into Social Security, you qualify for Social Security benefits starting at age 62, reduced, or full benefits at 67. The average benefit for someone who worked 15 to 20 years in the US is around $1,500 per month. At today's exchange rate, that is 1,41,000 rupees per month without touching your corpus at all. For many NRIs, this completely changes the retirement math. So what is the actual number? The honest answer is there is no single right answer. It is a framework. Your retirement corpus needs to cover the gap between your fixed income, Social Security, rental income, dividends, and your actual spending, inflation adjusted, for 30 or more years. 5 crore can be enough. It can also not be enough. It depends entirely on your city, your income sources, and your spending habits. Here is how to think about it. Start with your fixed monthly income, Social Security, any rental income from US or Indian property, dividends. Subtract that from your monthly spending target. The remaining gap is what your corpus needs to cover using the 4% rule. If you need 1,50,000 per month and Social Security covers 1,40,000, your corpus only needs to generate 10,000 per month, which requires just 30 lakh, not 5 crore. 4 steps before you retire. 1. Map every income source you will have in India: Social Security, dividends, rental income, any part-time work. 2. Calculate the monthly gap between that income and your spending target. 3. Choose your city based on how long your corpus needs to last. 4. Use your RNOR window strategically to restructure your 401k before India can tax it. Do these 4 things, and your retirement math gets dramatically clearer. Planning your return to India? Run your full retirement scenario on Breather. Free on the App Store and Google Play. Link is in the description.